It's time for a MotoGP melee in Misano for the first time in the modern era. Misano since Valentino Rossi's success 6 years ago in 2014. Vinales that is starting with the Michelin yellow-banded hard rear tyre. Is that a gamble that's going to be at class podiums? Keep an eye on the two Pramac Ducatis, Miller and Bagnaia going from row 2 as well. The to never discount Undaunted Dovi as he goes with that soft rear tyre from the back.
As that inside line going into turn 1. They will all initiate all on exactly the same machinery. So who will get to
one of the Red Bull KTM Tech 3 bikes has been stalled, and that means it's going to be a pit lane start. Was that Ika
Lecuona? Who will master Misano? The man on the far left from pole, get it going. There is Ika Lecuona. It looked just under the 10,000 then here at Misano.
Topping performance in FP3 yesterday, you could have sold 99,970 seats. Their class 199. He sits on what a place it would be to go into.
Yamaha had such a good day here last year and almost won it with this 4 spots. Quartararo hopes so. He's got a 3-point lead over Dovizioso Miller.
He's got to get a great start and then he's got to try and really push hard to get some decent temperature.
Enjoying the race here today, but surely it's got to be so much more than that. There's bragging position record there, you can see it with your own eyes. Marquez won twice, and of course,
yesterday, locking out the top 4. Lynn Jarvis with the sunglasses and the mask, he still looked.
Maverick Vinales ready, green flag waving. We are ready. Vinales at all. Franco Morbidelli got away really well. Fabio Quartararo gets swallowed and through comes...
Did Fabio Quartararo. Disastrous start from the front row for the Frenchman. So it's Morbidelli and...
Valentino wanted immediately a defensive line there from Maverick Vinales. The two Suzukis had a good
day at all because he's now got the hard work to get through on Jack Miller's Ducati. Jack Miller said he might try and...
That tight line up the inside though. It's going to be close this one. And he closes the door. Does Franco Morbidelli on the...
Miller.
He's going for it now though. He's got that inside line. Whoa, he sits him up.
Miller through on Jack on the coattails of Fabio Quartararo. It'll be Morbidelli though that leads his home Grand Prix through
teeth chattering. I think we both need our teeth put in. Jack Miller, then it's Maverick Vinales, and Fabio Quartararo is desperate to try and find a way past.
Both Vinales and Quartararo, the exact opposite to the starts that Morbidelli and Rossi both made.
Because it's such a short start-finish straight. There is Johan Zarco, he's intent just here. He's really keen to get through on Franco Morbidelli.
Yeah, no major impression behind Maverick Vinales in 4th spot. And Morbidelli and Rossi are starting to make... He's going for it again, up the inside of Morbidelli. Morbidelli just leaves his braking that little bit late there.
Yeah, great drive Rossi gets out of turn 6. Through we go then into Vinales, but also trying to keep Alex Rins at bay.
Yeah, the two Suzukis are starting to look seriously.
Terrible start for Miguel Oliveira. He lost 5 places. The Styrian Grand Prix race winner.
He place at the moment. Thought Rins was going to fire it up the inside of Quartararo into turn 14. No behind Maverick at the moment. Vinales is still waiting probably for that hard rear tyre to properly come in.
On the front row there, struggling in these early stages. Morbidelli from Rossi and Miller. Small got a bit of space between himself and Pecco Bagnaia back in 8th place.
Dovizioso is coming under threat there at the top of your pitch from Johan Zarco. Was Zarco going through on Dovizioso?
Well, now Rossi gets that great drive from turn 6. Can he challenge once more?
That was a great grip coming out of turn 6. What a great shot that was. You could see that Ducati sitting down that course. I think Quartararo might just be attacking Maverick Vinales there. It was getting very, very close.
Here come the top 3, and here come Maverick and Fabio. Fabio, the Yamaha, copes with the bumps better than most. Surely Fabio Quartararo's going to have a look. No, he's...
Pressure on Vinales now, isn't he? They can just see Morbidelli and Rossi eking away at the keeping the boss at bay.
On board with the doctor there as we come across the line. He won't have...
Vinales gets great grip out of turn 16. Miller's the fastest man on circuit right now at 30. The Aprilia test rider, unfortunately. He's taken a tumble at turn 14.
Yeah, this is good from Jack. Out of turn 6 we go. Lord, look at that rear end.
Squats down.
Still as you were. Morbidelli, who hasn't led a race now since Brno, of course.
In recent history, what we've learned in recent history is that sometimes both Morbidelli... So how will that work out as we get into the business end of this race? Now then, Quartararo well wide there.
Really wide.
Turn 11.
So you've got to watch that. You've got... Lecuona's got to take a long lap penalty.
Joan Mir at the moment, just lap times, but Rins is opened up an advantage of 7/10. He's taken a big chunk of time. Was that Rins going for Quartararo in the background there? Sorry, Steve, I think Rins might have been actually looking at a move here, but not quite able to make the passes stick.
He was the fastest man on that last lap, Alex Rins.
Yeah, because if you stall it, if you stall it, you're supposed to wheel the bike off the grid and start from pit lane.
So good then for Franco Morbidelli, but he's got company, and Miller's closed that gap down a bit as well. The Pramac
and Quartararo, that hard rear tyre now will be in and working nicely. He'll be up to moving his way forwards and perhaps piling pressure then on Miller, Rossi and Morbidelli ahead of him.
See then his protege that he brought through the ranks at the academy. Start of this one. There is Alex Rins then, fastest man on circuit. Trying to
this weekend, particularly Davide Brivio, say how difficult it is to overtake around this 2 or 3 laps, but he just can't find a way through to make the move clean.
Just going to get a bit harder for Bagnaia as well, and Dovi, 9th, is about the best as it gets.
Then rolling back the years into turn 4, keeping that gap down to under the off-road event at the VR46 Ranch in Pavuglia. These two always pair up.
Finishes on the podium here today. It's one of the rides of the day. You expected to see the Yamaha, the speed. Miller's doing a grand job in the early stages.
Absolutely awesome. That's why Ducati have picked him to be in the foe. And Vinales. This is further back down the field. A battle raging between the Espargaro brothers, Claire and Brad Binder. They're certainly not going to be repeating their winning heroics of Brno and
not been their fighting selves, although arguably Paul Espargaro mistakes. Here we are on board with Franco Morbidelli. He's got a
tipping my cap to Pecco Bagnaia because he's got incredible rhythm at the moment. Fast 0.72, about 2/10 quicker than Rossi in second place. Outstanding job. Davizio.
There are the Suzukis then of Rins and Mir. At the front there's no change. Rossi's trying to apply pressure to Franco Morbidelli, and Miller is there ready to pick up the pieces as well if should it all go wrong. Still nothing really
for quite some time. There's been a few near misses, or a few near passes I should say, for quite a few laps now, this league group of 7.
It was Morbidelli just exceeding track limits slightly there. Aro
properly nerfed him out of the way, picked him up big style there, didn't he?
He has the inside line. What can he now do about that gap to Jack Miller, which has gone up to half a second?
Yeah, of course, Maverick Vinales really needs to finish ahead of Fabio Quartararo to reignite his championship charge after a disaster right now. He is way quicker. He's the first man in the 32s. Quartararo's bailed out.
The World Championship leader is down at turn 4.
Cars at turn 14 on the previous lap, and at turn 4, Fabio fluffs it.
MotoGP script.
Andrea Dovizioso's 9th. He could be leading the World Championship at the end. And by Fabio Quartararo on the deck at turn number 4. His victory.
Well, to the gap.
Can you believe this? Andrea Dovizioso, we just said it. The guy's not even in the top 6. Well, astonishing. Well, and Rossi, look at Rossi. He's only 10 points down. This could not make this up. We've said this before. If you pitch this season to a Hollywood
stuff,
this is unbelievable. So Fabio Quartararo fluffs his lines for the first.
Maverick Vinales as well. He's shaking his head, Maverick. This is going from bad to worse for the number 12. And a 32.706 for the injured Italian.
Bagnaia's in a different race to the guys ahead of him. What about Vinales? Vinales a 33.8. Bagnaia was 1.1 seconds trick.
Around the outside. Pecco Bagnaia around the outside of Juan Mir. No.
He streaked away from Andrea Dovizioso behind him. It's tight there between Mir and Vinales.
Through past Juan Mir.
Well, what have we always said? Adrenaline is the best painkiller in the world. Laps to go, but he can sniff the podium already.
In the meantime,
he's wide, but a little bit wide there.
But you're looking here at Pecco Bagnaia, the fastest man is a bit shaken here in this race. You do wonder, don't you, if that little drama on the grid at the start
just unnerved him a little bit as well. That's Mir hot, well way hot. And that's allowed Bagnaia
not gone the way he had expected it to at all. Plan A was to get out front and bolt. It went wrong from the...
He did a 32.7 best of the race. As soon as he's got into this group, his pace dropped by a foot, almost close to tagging Vinales there, wasn't he, in the first corner. You cannot take your eyes in a strong third place still. Those three now have got quite a big buffer back to Alex Rins.
Yesterday, the only man I fear is Fabio Quartararo, who's now out of the race, and this is gone.
Can you believe Fabio Quartararo, having dominated the first 2 races in sideline, he's not going to have a top 6 since those 2 maximum 50.
Astonishing. What I can tell you is we are going to have another in MotoGP for 2020, whatever happens here.
This has been incredible. Alex Rins has got in 32.851. Yeah, Alex Rins was a mile quicker than the 3 men ahead of him, a mile faster than Miller.
Out of turn 6 we go. Morbidelli This does him so many favours in the World Championship. I think he'd just be a handful of points. Valentino Rossi there, he just lost half a tenth maybe into turn 8. Here is Fabio Quartararo, who has rejoined seconds down on Stefan Bradl right now, but he will be so upset. Let's go. Maverick Vinales, the bike could never settle there.
It was
slightly
twitchy.
in wide as well.
Johan Stigefeld, Razlan Razali, they cannot believe it. Well, this is the world champion, wasn't he, by Petrucci on the first lap in Phillip Island. I can't remember the last time he bailed out of his own accord. Oh, Jack Miller's had a track limits warning, so he's got to be careful. Couple more indiscreet.
Morbidelli started to break
he's
away
looking
here.
good, isn't he?
He's looking fantastic, Franco Morbidelli.
Tired did Franco Morbidelli, so they're hoping that lightning doesn't strike twice. Can anybody do a bin?
Jack Miller then, at the moment, holding on to third place. He just put in his fastest lap.
And another 132.8. That's back-to-back 132.8s from the Suzuki man.
We're only 11 laps gone. There's still 16 to go. A lot could still change, and we as well. It's up to 8 tenths now for Franco Morbidelli. He's in a world of his own.
What happened to Franco Morbidelli and Valentino Rossi? This would be so circuit. Almost as close as brothers, aren't they, this pair? And when you think of all the trawl, this would be such a great result for the pair of them.
Well, his races have not been his fault.
No.
And one of them, he was well positioned to possibly get 20 on.
Of course, to be taking that 200th podium, although that's not a given because Miller, and we're still not even at half race distance.
No, Alex Rins here right now looks staged with so long to go that he's got a good chance of still winning this race.
Vinales is just absolutely nowhere. His pace has dropped off a cliff. He's doing and struggling to do 32s for fun. It's been another very humbling afternoon so far for Maverick Vinales.
It does seem that track conditions change after Moto3 and Moto2 races have been on.
He's lavishing praise on Yamaha for locking out that top 4, but of those 4,
wow, I mean,
everybody thought it was going to be, well, it was going to be Vinales and Quartararo.
Yeah, exactly. If you'd have asked me, now Rins needs to dispatch of Miller quickly,
he's going for it now.
And he's going
That's
for it.
Awesome. Start posing a real serious problem. This is going to be fascinating with clear track ahead of him. How quick a look up the inside of Jack Miller into turn 4, which has proven so costly for Fabio Quartararo today. Has gapped Miller behind him.
Is Miller just starting to find it?
Not a lot wrong with Pecco Bagnaia.
He's having a big look over his shoulder there, Jack Miller. I think he's got a bit of trouble.
Wasn't he in that Andalusian Grand Prix when that cruel mechanical problem denied him a stone first podium finish in MotoGP?
Well, I'll tell you what, if he manages to get past Alex Rins, there'd be some...
Yeah, Tavuglia will be rocking, I think it's fair to say.
So then,
Steve, that Franco Morbidelli stretched his lead over Rossi to over a second. At the moment, Rossi shape of Rins and Bagnaia.
There is Rins. There is fastest rider actually was Juan Mir, number 36,
yeah.
30 behind Jack Miller.
Yeah, and that lap time mullered Miller because he was 1.4 seconds.
Andrea Dovizioso's lapping just as quick as the guys out front as well now. He ain't quicker than most.
Well, Dovizioso's playing his get out of jail free card big style today because GP World Championship. How many more twists and turns are we going to get in the road? Well, 13 laps to go. Look how quickly Rins and Bagnaia have dispensed with...
I mean, just nobody can keep any consistency in MotoGP in 2020 at all. So might be set to continue after this. There's Linjar.
Standing success, real stars of the show in many respects in 2020. They have what a lap time that is from the race leader. A 1:32.748. It's a personal, was half a second quicker than the 41-year-old behind him, and now Rossi can forget about...
He's got some work on, hasn't he, to try and hold on to this podium because there's some good speed going on. Further, we're both quicker than Rossi, Rins and Bagnaia last time around. Here is Johan Zarco, ATMs, 11th, 12th and 13th.
He's just on a 1:33.251, so there's nothing wrong with his rhythm at the moment.
Maverick Rossi, but look who's closing on Rins.
It's going to get worse as well in a minute for Maverick Vinales, because second faster than Vinales.
How is it possible? How can you be so... and at this stage of the race be in 7th place?
Well, there are going to be questions asked, aren't there, about his rear tyre. Strong on all weekend, but with this win, maybe slightly cooling the temperatures down on Jack Miller quite quickly. Look at the corner speed. The Suzuki's got much better corner speed,
Yeah, well, it's just the turning ability of that Suzuki in comparison to the Ducati as well. To the back straight we go. This is the battle for 5th and 6th.
And Rossi ahead of them, Mia, out of the seat.
Bit eager there on the power, wasn't he?
Steady on.
In MotoGP, every single point is so precious.
Unbelievable. I mean, Alex Rins at the moment on that last lap was... It's all about his focus and concentration and keeping himself cool, because now Rossi's struggling here, big start. He's being reeled in massively by both Rins.
For Valentino Rossi, his pace has fallen.
Well, it's the gap, it's down to half a second, so Rins again much the quicker man.
Upset things, and Mir has got through. Mir's gone through on Jack Miller, so Miller
pace is not bad at all. In fact, it's brilliant. He's still doing low 133s. It's just behind Rossi. Actually, he's done a 32 all race. He's reeled off lots and lots of low 133.
Oh, that was lovely from Joan Mir.
That's just a bit of corner speed, a bit of edge grip, and a bit of agility.
In second, Alex Rins there in fourth on the Suzuki, and then the Ducati in MotoGP, which arguably should have come in Jerez. He was brilliant there as well. From his broken leg, doesn't really seem to be affecting him. He did say that he was a little bit
told him off Rossi. He might get a whack around the back of the head with that cross.
To go, and this has been a masterclass from Franco Morbidelli thus far.
Brilliant, but once again behind him, Bagnaia again was able to fire in a high
18 laps has put in his fastest lap of the race, and he's into the low 133s. Unfortunately, that's
Jerez when he took his only podium of the season so far. He's going to have to do a lot of defensive work over these laps.
Rear Michelin, will that last the distance?
And to that medium rear tyre compound now.
It's
then
all over for Quartararo.
Yeah, he's in the pits.
Will retire, and he can't believe it.
Can you believe what has happened in MotoGP
all weekend?
Not a top six in the last four after such a record-breaking start.
4/10 of a second, and now they're on him.
He's really struggling, I think, at the moment. Not struggling rhythm, it's just that those two behind him are that little bit quicker. Not a lot in it, but fine.
Mind you, for 8 laps is a job like no other.
Yeah, that's going to be
with Alex Rins on the Suzuki, breaking into turn 4. This is where Rossi's okay. On the exit of turn 6, no problem.
And these are points that are...
Is he going to have a look up the inside into turn 8? Is he going to outbrake Rossi? Not this time. Naya as well.
Quartararo's actually coming into pits, and now he's rejoined the race. Dismal day for Maverick Vinales.
This is where Rins seems to be able to make up. Pramac Ducati rider. Is he going to do 2 in 1?
Brave in the extreme by Bagnaia. Up the inside now. Oh, someone's gone down.
Who's down? Oh, we can hear it.
Yeah, definitely.
Goodness me, I thought it was Morbidelli.
Do you know what? I thought the same.
Oh,
well, Fabio Quartararo is shocker of a Sunday here in Misano. Second crash of the day. Sent my ticker fluttering there, mate.
Sorry.
Blimey. Anyway, Bagnaia and Alex Rins. Rins in hot at turn 4 that time around.
And it's going to be cold tyre,
and there you go. That's just nowhere near enough temperature in the tyre. Mixed emotions post-race for the Petronas Yamaha SRT team, because on one side, the flip side of that coin, will be unbridled joy for Franco Morbidelli.
Now here comes Bagnaia. Inside of Valentino Rossi, his boss as well. We've got the 2 Academy boys ahead of them. Bagnaia, he's not close enough.
The Academy was designed to bring through young talent, not necessarily to... Can Rossi cling on to a home podium, a milestone 200th Premier Class podium, and force that issue?
Well, I just did not see this one coming. Incredible stories. Who thought about the move into turn 2 there. He wants to make it stepping on this group quite rapidly.
And this would he gets the job done.
Rins has been told to switch to mapping 3. Valentino Rossi, the block pass is coming. Oh my goodness me, that was close.
Oh, I was winning.
Rossi in Misano, not when he's on a podium. If you're going to make the move, make it clear. I mean,
yeah, if Alex Rins did that, he's going to need 24-hour security every time he steps onto Italian. So Rossi and Rins is just giving Mir a chance to creep back into this battle. Looks like he's going to have that second place, which should have been his, of course, in Andalusia a few weeks.
He's back up into 6th. 5 laps to go now. Morbidelli, who's trying to get through on Rossi. Rossi there knew it was coming. That was a very clever...
Yeah, Mir Rins rather, just trying to pick his moment here. Somebody can. This is going to be tough going here for Alex Rins. We saw Bagnaia just use the pan the braking zone for turn number 8. He's not going to be close enough to strike this time around. Dovizioso may well be picking off Jack Miller before the end of this race. He's a lot quicker than the Australian.
Out of turn 10 we go.
Mir is not out of this at all. In fact, he was a lot quicker. With that clear track, he's much quicker than Rossi and Rins.
Close enough again. Although Rossi's slightly wide on exit, they're almost side by side.
And seen the 2 Suzukis ganging up behind him.
Right then, onto the start to this crucial podium spot. Tito Rabat's crashed out. Riders absolutely, because he'd probably seen on a screen that that's his strongest point, and now Mir is on them as well.
Having to do all he can to keep Mir behind him as well.
Well, he might actually be able to do Valentin himself.
Tito Rabat, so let's hope that he's perfectly okay. There's your race leader at turn 8. Just still, he desperately wants to make it onto the podium here in Misano for the 200th time with his two prodigies, Bagnaia and Morbidelli. We haven't had an all-Italian Petrucci and Dovizioso.
Are able to stay in these positions.
Well, he's coming back towards Pecco Bagnaia, now throwing everything at this, but he hasn't been able to make a decisive breakaway from the top 3.
It's extraordinary, isn't it? I mean, Rossi will be feeling that he could do himself a big favour. It's so difficult to predict this one. We've got 4 riders fighting now for 2 spots on the... Shame for him that we're not able to witness this show that he's put on, because he's...
A quality helmet yesterday was all to do with the famous Spike Lee movie, Do the Right Thing. Well, he's done the round, fired up the inside of Valentino Rossi. Rossi, so good, so late on the...
1 second spot. I need to be getting that spot. I need to buy myself some time. Rins with Catty. That's the key. It's so difficult to overtake.
Miller's now got a second.
So crazy, isn't it? so crazy in MotoGP. You just don't know where to look.
Tonneau surface.
I mean, we could still have 2 Suzukis on the podium as yet. Anything's likely to happen. There's 2 through these final sectors. Bagnaia's lead over Rossi shrinks once more. Rins, have another look at Valentino Rossi here. No.
Bagnaia, what a resolute race he's ridden so far. Absolutely sound. This man has been in a class of his own, Franco Morbidelli.
Yeah, the 25-year-old rush, some emotion.
There really is, especially after what happened to him over the last 2 races in Brno, and what a response this has been from Franco Morbidelli.
Well, given championship charge also, 25 points or so, precious at this moment. Dovi has gone through on Miller.
Dovi gets on through, and that's another vital World Championship point now then. Trins cannot get through on Rossi. Rossi in turn, trying to find a way through on Pecco.
Control, but he's lost a second in the last lap.
Yeah, I think he's got it under stage.
Oh, Mir's gone through on Rins, sorry Matt.
And that could be it.
That could be done. Now then, Rossi!
Rins make a mistake in that final sector.
Morbidelli is here. Yeah, he's going to have a proper bite at Valentino Rossi.
Mir's going to have a pop. Is he going to be close? I don't think he is. Rossi's been awesome on the brakes into turn number 8. No, Mir
in Misano, and it's not over yet for the podium places. You have it. They're almost touching.
Oh, what a move
was that?
What a move. That is that move. Bravo, Juan Mir.
Rossi's now going to throw the kitchen sink at it. Sure, he's wide though. It's all gone wrong.
Mir ran the super tight line. Is there going to be Lakers? It looks like Frankie can relax. He's going to take his first MotoGP.
It's Samba time for Franco Morbidelli, who is finally... We have not got a Yamaha 1-2-3. Bagnaia, take a bow.
What another astonishing show here in Misano. What a last lap that was. VR46 side of the factory Yamaha garage. He did everything he could. Gotta say, Mir got there. 4 corners later, bang, straight through.
This is fantastic to see. Look at those 3 lads. Well, lads.
Podium, mate. He went, no, I was 4th. Unbelievable.
That move from Mir on the last lap.
He will be full respect for that move by Mir. Alex Rins ran out of steam, didn't he, late on? Zeelenberg.
Oh, yeah, Wilco, give us a word. I mean, mixed emotions with Fabio, but...
Yeah, with teams with 2 good riders. One is doing well, the other one made a mistake. And I'm very happy for Frankie. He achieved what he achieved. And, of course, for Fabio. And Maverick a little bit too long, and he wanted to catch them quickly, and he had a slice. You can win that one. You know, you go over the moon, and he did it, you know.
He said, I wanted to deal with the issue of racism in the world. I wanted to hug the 2020 year. Well, the 20 language is to remind everyone that we are all the same. Well, the man, the legend at the MotoGP championship standings.